everybody, so today I've got the brand new Christmas / holiday release from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Beautyverse, the Love palette. So this launched yesterday and luckily it arrived here today. So my face has been waiting a few hours for this to be delivered. So I've pretty much got my full base on. I have actually left blush out, just bronzer on, hoping I might be able to get a blush out of this. So I'm going to try two different looks with this, one on each eye. And I've got a lipstick from MAC, a new lipstick, which I'm hoping might match up too. So really looking forward to trying that. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you're not liked and subscribed, I would appreciate it so very, very much if you did. It's so very helpful to my channel. If you're already subscribed, thank you so very much for coming back. I appreciate you all. And if you want to know about my skin tone, if that's useful at all, I've got fair to light skin with neutral undertones. So I'm not entirely sure this colour story will work for me. Sometimes pinks and reds can make me look ill, but I'm taking one for the team and I'm trying this on, so hopefully it'll help you decide, because maybe you've got a different skin tone to me and you're a better match, but then again, it might be a really good match. Let's wait and see. Anyway, let's get on with this video. Before I start these two looks, I've just done a swatch video. I've actually done two videos, one swatching this live and also comparing it with the one from last year. So I'm going to play those two videos for you now. So I think you can probably see from that the new one is swatching with much more pigment than the one from last year. So if you look at the two together again, the other difference is the new one has actually got 5 mattes, whereas last year's one has only got the 4. So I'm not sure how people will feel about that. Personally, I'd rather have more shimmer, less matte, but anyway. This dark one here is something they didn't really provide in the last one though, if you look at that. So we didn't have one for lining. So I think it's quite good that they've added a dark one, because that will work as a liner. Probably I will use that for both looks, but maybe this deep red would work, but not as a liner for me. I would look really poorly, I think. So the same as last year, there's one party topper and the rest of the shimmers are Crystal Glow. So the bottom 3 are all Crystal Glow here, and then we have one party topper. So this one is the topper. So I will figure out a way of trying this now on for two looks, so I can make sure I can test it. I think I know what to do already. Right, let's get started. So the matte shades, these 5 are the Future Matte formula, which is a cream to powder, and last year these were some of the best mattes I've ever worked with. So they've swatched beautifully, very cleanly as well. I think these will probably give you full coverage, these sorts of mattes. So let's start, I think, with this one. So this one is called Futuristic Pink, and I'm using my Refa number 1. Just going to start off gently to see the sort of pigment, but from what I remember last year, it's not a very scary one. You're not getting too much on the brush. You just seem to get the perfect amount and it blends in beautifully, and that's exactly what's happening. They're soft as butter. They remind me a little bit of the YSL, if you're familiar with those. Very soft, very lightweight, very blendable. They really are a fabulous formula. I think a lot of people were so excited by this formula. Some people were saying they'd like an entire palette with just this. I mean, certainly if I had a massive palette with sort of every colour, or maybe a neutrals palette, and then a pinks palette, and then a greens palette only in these mattes, they could be my sort of base mattes for just about everything. Not that I need that in my collection, but I could see them fitting into lots of people's collections because they are just beautiful. Do you see how smooth and easy that was? And so far for a pink, I like this shade on me, so that's a good start for me. I've taken some on my Refa number 3 and I'm now going to run this underneath. I think this sort of pink will be okay. It's not, like I said, my favourite shade underneath the eyes, but I will be going in with a deeper one later. So this is just to really start and set the base down. So I'll tap off the Refa brush and go into this one for the other side. So this one is called Cyber Rose. So again, with the Refa number 1, I'm going to try it on this side. And again, it's not so pigmented that I can't control it. Like you've seen from the swatch video, they are very pigmented, but very manageable. But I am being careful, I'm not going in too much, because the last thing I want is a really big amount of pink that I then have to deal with. So I do want this to be light. Obviously, if you're a different skin tone, you might want to apply this very differently and go in a lot more heavily. But for me, a nice light transition is exactly what I want. And again, I quite like that shade actually. There's not a massive difference between the two, is there? This one is a little bit more dark. This one's got just a bit more of a sort of bright pink to it. More of a sort of rosy pink, would you describe it as maybe? And the other one, more of a mauvey pink. Not much different. Definitely a little bit more pigment, I think, to this one. Looking at the two side by side, but not much in it. And running it underneath with the Refa number 3. So now I'm going to start deepening up, and for the first one I'll try this colour. I don't know how deep it will be actually. I've got my Refa 15 mini brush here. So this is called Supernova Smolder. So nothing too alarming pigment wise here at the moment. So I think what I'll be doing is making this side my lighter side generally, my more sort of everyday look I think, and I'll be going for the big colours more so on this side. But you can see this is adding depth, and certainly for me, for a sort of day look, that's the sort of depth I'd like. I'm taking this just to the sort of first third above the crease, into the crease and into the lower part of the outer V there. And with the Refa 3, I'm going to take it pretty much to the same spot underneath. This is going to be my quickest video ever because these are just blending out so easily. I think I might go back into this first one that I used as the transition and just rub this around the edge using my Refa number 1 again, just to sort of blend out the edges a little bit and give it that smoother finish. So now on this side I'm going to go for the deeper one. This is the one that would probably worry me the most. This is the colour I feel would suit me the least, so I'm worried about this one, so let's see. So this one is called Virtual Romance, and I'm using the Refa 15 mini again. I've been using these brushes pretty much on repeat recently. They are absolutely brilliant. Refa brushes are probably my most used with BK Beauty at the moment. And I do put links for all the shops I use down below if you want to have a look through the Refa site for these brushes, but these are my go-tos. That is actually not too bad, you know, it's nowhere near as scary as I thought it was going to be. But this will build up. Let me just remind you by swatching on the back of my hand how much you can get out of this. Look, you can get a lot out of this shade. So don't watch this thinking there's no pigment. I'm being very careful because of my skin tone. So I do want to make this work. I've just invested in this palette and it was £58. I think I forgot to mention that. I was so busy getting straight into the look, I didn't say that. So if I'm spending £58 on something, I want it to work. It's also made in Italy, which helps explain the magnificent, and really it is magnificent, quality of the formula. Well, I'm quite happy with that, you know. So there we have the lighter mattes, and then we have the deeper I'm going to risk putting a bit of this underneath. It's not quite as red as I feared actually. The way it translates on the eye for me is a lot more friendly than I thought it was going to be for me. So maybe if you see this and think, whoa, I can't do pinks and reds like I do, then maybe this would change your mind, because it's slightly changing mine, but I do want to see the finished look because it needs a lot more work still. So I'm going to keep this side more simple, so I think I'll go in with this one here. So this is Pixie Pink and this is in the Crystal Glow formula. So I'm taking this on my finger, just showing you what that looks like. It looks brilliant, doesn't it? And I'm going to take this across most of the lid. Well, isn't that pretty? I've just been swatching all of the pop shots that have been relaunched because I've got them all. I will probably do a video trying them all on. I'm hoping to get that done for you tomorrow. But this doesn't have as much oomph, if anyone's wondering. This is like a step down, I'd say, from the pop shots, but it's still got enough glitter and glamour, hasn't it? But it's definitely not as much. Tiny bit of fallout there, so I would advise doing this before applying your base, and like I've done. So I'm going to try to use this one described as a topper shade to fill the first third of the lid. I'll see if it will work, and if not, I'll take this across the whole of the lid. So the topper shade is just called Pillow Talk Beautyverse. So is this where the palette got its name from? Let's see what this looks like completely on its own. I'm hoping it'll be okay. And yeah, I think it works actually. So it is a topper shade, but it's not so sheer that you can't wear it on its own for definite. So if I take it just a little bit further over, you can see what it looks like over the Crystal Glow. So I take it to about there. So this bit here is Crystal Glow plus topper, and then here it's also blending into one, to be honest. I can't see an awful lot of difference between them. Can you see it? Anyway, and now with Rapha 3, I'm going to repeat the shades from above below so that they match up. Now, can you see how I look unwell? I definitely am getting that pink eye looking unwell vibe, but again, let's wait until the liner goes in. So I'm going to leave that look completely. Very simple look. I will be changing it with the liner at the end, but let's just put the glitters, sparkles onto this side. So I'm going to use the two here, which I haven't used, and I'm going to take this one first. Again, this is a Crystal Glow. This is called Rose Gold Ream. Gosh, that doesn't have much. That's more like a topper. How strange. Can't get much of that at all on my eye. Can hardly see it. I'm just going to swatch that because I don't remember it looking like that when I swatched it. I'll swatch it here. Oh, it swatches much better on my hand, look. I'm going to just take a bit more before I go to the wet brush I do, which I don't really like doing. Oh, there we go. I'm seeing it a bit more now. I certainly had to layer that up to see it. Oh, that's really nice now, I can see it. Much deeper shade compared to this. Now I'm going to take this one. This is described as Pixie Pink, and this is Crystal Glow 2. I'm not sure if these two work together, you know. Anyway, I just wanted to show you them all on the eyes, but I think I might have to go in and do something with the topper because that's too deep for me in this part of the inner third, but I was hoping I could get these to work together. So there is Pixie Pink before I change it because it's way too deep for me personally in that part of the eye. So I'm going to change it by running the topper over it. So this will give us a chance to see the difference the topper makes. So you can see it over Pixie Pink, and I think that straight away that's improved it. I'm going to run the topper over the whole eye, I think, for this one. You could just do a pop in the middle, depending on the sort of colours that you like on your eyes. If you're a different colour to me, you may be fine with these sort of deeper shades all over the eye, and then you could just pop a little bit of this in the middle. But for me to even like this on me, I need to really lighten this up because it's just too much pink and too much purpley pink in the inner corner, which I do not like. Some people watching might say it looks good on me. I just personally don't agree. I don't like it. It's just me. I think right now I still look unwell, but I'm hoping, as I keep saying, that's going to change now, because let me just put a little bit of this underneath. So this one is called Offline, and this is the Future Matte, and I'll just swatch it again to remind you what it looks like. So it does look like pretty much a black, doesn't it? Is it a deep brown or a black? It does look like a black, doesn't it? It's not super dark though. I'm hoping it'll give me enough to transform this look into something wearable for me. So I'm going to run this underneath here. I'm actually going to take it underneath the whole area, close to the waterline, and then bring it up for a bit of a wing. That's definitely showing up as a black. I really like that actually. Then I'm taking it above, bringing it up to make a little bit of a wing there, just meeting it, and then taking it across tight to the lashes. And I'm going to take it all the way to the very inner corner, so I'm lining the entire top part of the eye. Can you see straight away how doing that I feel like my eyes are now coming forward a bit, whereas having nothing and just the pink, it's almost like my eyes are sinking, I feel. So I'm still not massively convinced this is my colour story, but I do prefer it with the black. And I'll do exactly the same on the other side. Got a tiny bit of fallout there with the black, so be careful to tap off, and again, as I said, definitely do these before your base if you can. So that's how each look is looking. So we've got the lighter one, which I definitely prefer on me, and then we've got the deeper one here. Which side do you prefer? I've got to say it's not winning me over on my complexion. Anyway, I'm going to curl my lashes, and I think I'll go in with my Exaggerize mascara, which I've been loving actually. My lashes barely show up, they are absolutely tiny. I'm using the Refa eyelash curler, by the way, which is my current go-to #1 curler. And yeah, I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize since getting it, and I'd say it's probably my favourites at the moment because it makes my eyelashes visible, which is all I really expect from a mascara, because my lashes don't show up and I don't like wearing lashes. So one coat of this, I do find I can go in with 2 coats with it and I can get a lot more out of it, but I find it gets a bit heavy on the lid and a bit too clumpy. Not on the lid, on the, it feels heavy on the lid, if you know what I mean, almost like it's weighing things down a bit. So one coat is better for me. So I've got the mascara on. I've just realised I completely forgot to do some sort of inner corner pop. I think this one, the topper shade, is the only one that's possible for that. I'm using my BK Beauty 207, so I'm going to take that here. I don't think this is bright enough for me. So if I was going to make this look work for me, I'd probably like to go for something a bit lighter, like a standard highlight shade. Anyway, it's not too bad. You can see, certainly on this look, which I prefer, it looks quite good there. I'm not sure on this side. Definitely don't like this side. I'm going to take this under the brow as well. So now I'm going to try one of the shadows as a blush. Just trying to decide which one. I think I'll go with this one, the middle one. So this was one of the colours I used on this side, the one I used to deepen up in the outer V. Now obviously these aren't advertised as a blush, so if it goes wrong, it's not Charlotte Tilbury's fault. But I just wanted to see if it would work, because I did this yesterday with the Danessa Myrex palette, which is actually a face palette to be fair, and it looks so nice. That does seem to work actually. Blends out very easily. And then I'm getting that sort of cohesive look between eye and cheek, which I really like. I'll do the same this side. I'm not going to change it. So just a little bit on the brush seems to be plenty to give me quite a nice blush actually, so definitely works for that, you know. I was using my Sonia G Classic Cheek, by the way, which is the perfect size for getting in this sort of size pans. If you've got one of those face palettes where the blush is only this big, perfect brush. And this one from BK Beauty is also perfect, 112. So I'm going to use this one to use this as a highlighter. So this is the topper shade. I'm going to see if I can use that as a highlighter, which, yep, I think that works quite nicely. Excellent. Take a little bit down the nose and Cupid's bow. I'm just going to go round now with my Buffer Pro, again Sonia G brush, to just make the edges a bit softened. So that's my final look with both of these different eye looks, the lighter and the darker. Which one do you prefer? Certainly on different skin tones, they'll just work very differently, but if you're lighter skin toned, I think this one is better. What do you think? Like I said, I'm not convinced that this is my sort of look, but I do actually really like this look. So definitely if I go back into this palette, what I'm going to be doing personally is if I use any of the shimmers, any of these three, I'm going to use them just up to about there, and then I'm going to use this on its own on the inner part of the lid, so that I can have a lot of light here, which will change the effect. Because even though I've got the topper here, it is sitting on top of this deeper shimmer. So I think that would be my perfect way. I think any of these together are lovely combinations as a base. They work beautifully. I think this works perfectly as a liner. This worked very well as the inner corner and under the brow pop. And these are all beautiful, but for me, I need to stop about here and bring the lightness in with this. So if you're my sort of skin tone, that's how I personally would wear this. And I know lots of people love pink, so maybe you'd like to do it differently, but for me personally, that's the way I would wear this. But overall, now I can see this side at least, and I know that I can make this side look the same. I'm happy with it, I am. I don't like it as much as last year. I think last year's colour story suited me much more, and it had that lovely shade in the middle with the lilac, these two, which I just loved, and they gave the sort of mermaid look. So I preferred this, but it's down to preference. Pinks are not my top at all. It's, for me, it's purples and greens, lilacs, them and oranges. They're my favourites. So this was never going to be my top favourite. But I have enjoyed it, and I think the formulas are phenomenal. I really do. I don't think you can get much better than that. I think it is absolutely perfect formula. Just want to remind you, I've got a discount code for Charlotte Tilbury as well. I'll pop that for you now down below. You can get 15% off if you order on the Charlotte Tilbury website. So just in case that's helpful to you. I'm just finishing off now with the lips. I'm going to use a new lipstick from Matte. Now, I say new, it's actually been out for a while. I just haven't picked any of them up, but they are their latest lipsticks, and this is the Macximal Sleek Satin Lipstick. So I've got two shades of this, and I actually picked them up because when I was doing the Dior eyeshadow palettes, I thought there's not much in my collection that's pinky and mauvey. So funnily enough, I tend to buy browns and oranges, seeing as I'm not a big pink fan, but I thought I do need some really to match these sorts of looks. So the two shades I picked up, I'll just show you them. It's 801 Amorous, and this one is 821 Pink Peppermint. So these cost £25, and they're described as a sleek satin lipstick that nourishes the lips and gives creamy, bold colour with all-day moisture. So I'm a massive fan of MAC, so as soon as I needed new colours, the first website I went to was MAC, because I know I can never go wrong with MAC. And even though this is a new formula, I'm already feeling quite confident in it because it's MAC, to be honest. I do have some liner on, but I'm just topping it up slightly. I'm using the Fenty Traced Out, and I think my shade is called Thugs Blush 2. I'm pretty certain it is. That's the one I tend to use all the time lately. Yep, Thugs Blush 2, which is shade number 2. I'm going to try 801 Amorous, which is quite a brave colour for me. It's a bit bright for me, but I'm hoping it'll work. I definitely think this colour goes well with these eyes, doesn't it? And this is where the whole look can come together when you match the lips to the eyes. It looks a bit more normal when you've got quite pale lips like I do. That's not too overpowering at all, actually. I think it could be built up a bit more, but yeah, I was going to say I don't want to go mad, but it's not too overpowering. I really like that actually. I was thinking of trying a little bit of the pink peppermint in the middle. I think I'll still do that. Just so it's sort of lighter here and then deeper on the outside. Oh, I like that, you know. That is a nice combination. I like that. And it is a beautiful formula. Very, very hydrating. Very, very comfortable. Very flattering, I think, on the lips. It's not emphasising lip lines, but at the same time it's moisturising. So it's another winning formula for me from MAC. They just cannot do anything wrong for me, MAC. I love their lipsticks. So my other favourite, which I picked a new one up in, is this formula, which is the Luster Glass. When they launched these last year, they became my #1 lipstick because these are like wearing a lip balm but still a lipstick. They are so comfortable, and you can tell it's Luster Glass because they've got a sort of shiny case compared to the other ones, which have got more of a sort of matte finish, if you see the difference between the two there. So I picked up 548, which is called Beam There Done That. I'm not going to put it on, I just wanted to show you because this is another colour I thought that I can just use when I'm wearing these sorts of looks. So I'll just show you the shade on the back of my hand. There, can you see it's just a little bit more shiny, not a lot more, but a little bit more, because they're just a bit more lip balmy, this finish. They are beautiful. So I'm looking forward to trying that one as well. Maybe I'll do a shorts video at some point, but I'm a little bit bogged down with all the Christmas releases. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you. I'd love to hear from you. Are you a pink eyeshadow fan? If you are, I think you are going to love this. If you love pinks, I don't think you can go wrong with this. It is beautiful. And also the packaging, it's exactly the same as the Pop Shots. It's like a giant Pop Shot. I don't have one to show you right now because I've just been swatching outside in my summer room, so they're not here, but they basically look exactly the same with all these crystals embedded inside. So very, very pretty packaging. Different to last year's packaging, which was beautiful as well, but different. I don't know, maybe I preferred last year's looking at the two together, though I did think last year's was something special. But anyway, this is still really beautiful, isn't it? And the formula's fantastic. So if you love pinks, you'll love this, and this could make a really, really good Christmas present. So if you know anyone who loves pinks and loves eyeshadows, this could be a lovely thing to pick up. Either now you're using something like my discount code or waiting to see if you can get it reduced. I don't know if you will. I doubt Charlotte will reduce it before Christmas. But then if you want to get it next year, if you're a planner and you like to plan for next Christmas, you never know. But anyway, I think this would make a lovely gift for Mother's Day maybe you could plan for. Maybe you'll get it in a reduced section then, I don't know. Maybe Sephora. It should be on Sephora, shouldn't it? And they will have reductions. Will it be available in Sephora US with the 30% or 20% off that you get in your sales? I don't know. Please let anyone that's watching know because I'm not sure on that. But anyway, this is a hit for me as in it's beautiful and the formulas are stunning. It's not my favourite shade, but I knew that before I bought it. So I'm not going to say it's a fail for that reason. That is very personal to me. And the lipstick, which you can see, it's just a winner, always a winner from MAC. So another beautiful formula. Love them. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have, I would like it so much if you liked and subscribed to my channel. It really is very, very helpful to me. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for being here again, watching one of my videos to the end. I really appreciate you so very much, I really do. And I hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.